Ask Reddit, have you ever listened to a person talk for less than a minute and known you weren't going to get along with that person? What did they say? Yes, this guy hopped into our Discord group a few months back. He was a friend of a friend, but he didn't think to just add him to our server, not our group chat. We all hop into a call, and first thing he does is make some remarks that are very politically sensitive, sends some graphic photos, and made some inappropriate remarks. Didn't expect to meet someone and have him offend 6 people in the span of 10 minutes. Are you sure you're not just jealous of his efficiency and multitasking skills? Told me, yeah, all women are bees, you included. No offense. Within the first 2 minutes of knowing me. You don't scare me. Wasn't trying to scare you in the slightest. Trigger warning, next answer is about animal abuse. Parent of one of my kids' friends at school said there was a mouse in their house and his wife wanted him to KLL it, but he didn't want to KLL any creatures, he wants to make friends with them instead. But wife insisted, so he threw his shoe at it and eventually managed to hit it, but it wasn't dead, so he threw his shoe at it another 4 times. It still wasn't dead, so he poured boiling water over it to KLL it. It still didn't pass, so he poured boiling water over it again. It still wasn't passed, so he decided to leave it alone in the hopes that it would peacefully pass away. The logic of being too squeamish to KLL something, and instead decide to make it suffer to live slowly in the most agonizingly painful way absolutely blew my mind. Years ago, me and my ex-husband went to see a movie with an older colleague of his. Before the movie we had dinner at like a chain restaurant/steakhouse type place. Staff on the floor was all 20-ish. I never met this man before, but in the first few minutes of sitting down and looking at the menu, he very confidently told us how he came there a lot and flirted with the female staff because they love the attention. The best part? His daughter worked there. All I could think was how I would literally cringe myself through the floor if I was 20 and my 50-years-old dad came into my place of work and perved on my coworkers because he didn't understand that they only put up with him because they are paid to do so. My papa would come into the restaurants that I worked in. I usually was his server, but once someone else got his table, my coworkers would fight to take him. My papa was a funny dude that left enormous tips and joked with everyone around him that was cool with it. He was one of those tall skinny guys that just looks like a guy you could talk to. I remember I had told him about one of my coworkers having a rough time of it. He came in, specifically requested her, and then left her a $100 bill as a tip. When I got home, he asked if she had gotten the tip. Of course she had, and then broken down hugging me, telling me that my grandfather was the best person she'd ever met. I was in a job interview once and the manager cut me off mid-sentence to jump to a weird conclusion. What do you think the performance of this algorithm would be? Me, oh, it'll be n times. Oh, you think it's going to be n? You think it'll be n? That's ridiculous, there's no way it would just be n. Me, you gotta let me finish speaking. He then cut me off mid-sentence twice more during our conversation. We didn't get along. Dude was a total tool. I hate people who do that. They don't listen to a thing you say, like they are counting how long they have to let you talk before they can butt in with their obviously superior comments. There are different levels to being a psychic. I'm on the purple level, so I can talk to the dead. Said a new employee at my previous job. Nope. Oh, are you talking about D&D? I love fantasy stuff. They talk negatively about someone else in a very judgy way. There was this mom in my daughter's school who seemed to know everyone. She talked to me and she spoke so bad about these people. Then moments later I saw her interacting in a friendly way with those she was judging. My eyes rolled so much I could see my brain telling me not to get involved with her. And I was right, because by the time school year ends, her friends hated her and they were talking behind her back too. I know I'm not supposed to ask, but I need to know. It's not for work or anything. What religion are you? HR manager. I belong to the Church of Our Lady of Perpetual Lawsuits. New guy at work. First coffee break he started complaining about his ex who had full custody of the kids for some unknowable reason, and also how he'd like to slash her throat with a rusty knife. Nice to meet you too, don't think I'll be taking breaks with you. It was nice of him to clear up why his wife divorced him and why he couldn't be with his kids. I was listening to the Nexum podcast and the clip of the founder saying he has 225 IQ. If I walked into a room and heard someone say that, I'd walk right back out. The quiet boy at school sat next to me and told me how hard he felt when he took a shit and how many times he ejaculated that way. I never sat next to him again. Some people might say I'm an unholy, but I just tell it how it is. 99% chance they are an asshole that I don't want to be around. Was a customer at work. Naturally I wouldn't be friends. But even in a setting where we could become friends, it wasn't happening. I came up to her to see if she had any questions about our critters. I work in a pet shop, and the very first thing she asked was if parakeets could talk because she wanted to teach them racial slurs. Biggest nope of my life. When a mutual friend introduces you and you go to greet them and they deny it and proudly exclaim I'm a hugger and then go in for an unwanted hug. WTF. Had just started a job, and within a minute of meeting one of my new colleagues he waxes lyrical about how weak it is that one of our other colleagues uses an inhaler, oblivious to the fact I myself use an inhaler, though my asthma is mild and well managed. Ironically, the shit-talking colleague in question had no discernible chin and looked very out of shape himself. New guy at work. Super fake by being overly excited and super overly comfortable with everyone in the first minute. He's all mommy this and poppy that to everyone and very overly touchy. We were almost all Hispanics there and everyone was uncomfortable. First phone call of the day, he hangs up cursing and taking it super personally that someone hung up on him, daily occurrence in customer service. After about 6 months, I put in my 2 weeks notice solely because I couldn't work next to or with him anymore. He would also get overly gossipy and personal. My boss rejected my notice and transferred him. He couldn't stand the guy either. No one could. Asked me, do you mind if smoke? Then proceeded to take out a meth pipe. She was complaining the 15-year-old kid who just fled from the war in Ukraine wasn't working hard enough at his dishwashing job. The kid doesn't want to be alone in a dishwashing kitchen all day, not able to speak to anyone. He should be in school at home with all his friends. Of course he's not excited about the stupid dishes. The lack of compassion was astounding. And she was indeed a wretched person, so my initial impression was totally correct. He learned I'm a physicist and immediately started talking about infinite energy. You're late. I've been here for 10 minutes already. I was only 5 minutes late for the date because I was looking for parking and had let him know. Me at my first day on the job on my lunch break. Coworker, are you Chinese? Me, yeah. Coworker, I don't like Chinese food, walks away. Asked a guy what he does at a business networking event. Well, I'm a chiropractor, but looking to get out. How come? All these Me Too accusations. In another state, I had 3 of them. Good thing none of them went to the bar. Edit, he probably said board instead of bar. As soon as he started complaining about Me Too accusations, I pretty much tuned him out. Met someone at the dog park, he got to talking about what we do for work. I screen resumes at my job and deny anyone with an overly complicated ethnic name. That's discriminatory and illegal. They'll never know. I was talking to a girl in college and she made some remark about, yeah, like when you test your boyfriend to make sure he loves you, and I remember thinking, you seemed so normal. Around the lunch table at work. A couple of the younger guys, straight out of high school young, are talking about a young female singer. New guy around my age says I'd take a RPE charge for that. Thank you for watching, remember to stay hydrated and see you soon friend.